Hello and welcome to another episode of the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite shows. We are your hosts. I am Scott, and joining me as always, he spent too many years around Lancers and Pikemen, if you know what I mean.
What the hell?
It's Zachy Attacking! Yeah, you fucking thought, motherfucker, you know what intro I would use. You don't know
Dude,
me.
what even is that
You
intro?
don't know
I'm
me,
so
you bitch.
confused.
That's my boy, the Blackfish, when he's like, oh, I've spent too many years around Lancers and Pikemen. And I'm like, oh same, brother.
The
Big
one
same.
that I had for you was also from the Blackfish. Because
yeah.
of course.
Because
You know
of
what?
course.
You know which one I had?
The wet shit, of course.
Yeah.
That's too obvious. I gotta
mean,
go.
it's really good,
It's
though.
really good, but I gotta go subtle. And
All right.
boy, if Lancers and Pikemen doesn't apply to you and the crowd you hang around with, then I don't know what
I'm
does.
not sure what that is supposed to mean.
You
but
know exactly what it is.
I really don't,
supposed to
though.
mean. How are you doing this week, pal?
I'm doing all right. I feel like it's always my knee-jerk response to say I'm doing good. You could probably go back and make a cut of me on every episode when you ask me, and it's probably the exact same thing.
Yeah, what are we supposed to
good.
say? We're doing shit, you know.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
I suppose we could, yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I've been a little kind of spread thin, a little overwhelmed.
Oh, sure.
Have had kind of a rough week, to be honest.
This is a safe space. Talk to us. You're okay, bud.
No, I mean it's nothing like that. I have found it hard recently to like have a lot of focus in one area. Like I just feel like I'm kind of spread out a little bit.
Well, that's what happens when you're like designing 16 new like logo ideas and
True.
all this other nonsense.
True.
Hey, this is gonna be like super old by the time this goes up, but yeah, we just launched the campaign for time lapse purposes. I don't know what I'm talking about. So go check out our new designs, our new shirts. Those are Zachy Attacky originals. And
They will be maybe not so new when you
by the time you find this, they'll be very old. But
hey, they are a lot of fun. We're really happy with these.
I love how some of these turned out. They're so much fun. They're so ridiculous and nonsensical, and I absolutely love it.
I think that as much as I love our first couple designs, which I think were kind of staple pieces for us, like starting a new podcast.
Right.
This is so much more us.
These are just fun. They're just like wacky. They're just like they look like something like less of I want to rep the podcast and more of just like this is something that I think would be cool and fun to wear. You know,
right?
This just looks good. So
for sure.
I like that.
But other than me being spread out. Heyo. It's not the first time.
Lancers and Pikemen, my dude.
I did tee
Pikemen.
myself up there. I had to take advantage of that. I have been good. Yeah, just been kind of chilling. Amanda made me a drink tonight.
Oh, is that a mule?
She made me a bourbon mule.
Okay.
And I'm fucking with it.
Where'd you get that cup?
We got them at the liquor store.
Okay.
There's Specs. Yeah, we just picked them up there, I'm pretty sure.
Because I got one that looks a lot like that. I think that's like an actual like mule cup or glass, whatever.
I mean, I
called.
think they're supposed to be copper, but yes, this is a mule like cup.
I got one when we went to the Rangers game that has a Rangers logo on it. It was like a novelty, you know.
Nice.
It was like a vodka. It was like their take on some kind of mule.
Sure, right.
It was actually very good, but yeah, I have one like that with a Rangers logo. So good times.
I mean, fuck the Rangers, but okay.
Listen, it's fun going to games. Their stadium. Yeah.
Do you like their field?
I actually do.
Actually, not that pretty.
Their new one is not bad. Like it's ugly from the outside. Like it looks like people make the joke that it looks like
the Broncos
a tractor
stadium
supply. It's just got like this weird aluminum roof, and it's kind of hideous. But the inside is very nice. Like it's a fine stadium.
Is it like the Broncos Stadium? How it's like hideous from the outside, but
I think the Broncos Stadium is hideous from everywhere. I think
okay.
if you want to talk football, like the vast majority of football stadiums, there are exceptions like Jerry World and like Lambeau Field, but
I mean, I've actually so I've never been to the new Dallas, or I say new, it's old now, but the Dallas Stadium. I've never been there.
Well,
and I hear it's very pretty.
I haven't either, and supposedly it's incredible. That's what I'm saying. That's an exception, but most football stadiums are extremely generic and bland. And that's what I love. One of the things I love so much about baseball is that every ballpark is so different and unique.
Right, okay.
But yeah, the Broncos Stadium sucks.
Okay, all right. It's cuz I've never been to it. I've just obviously when I lived in Denver, I drove past it almost every day.
Sure.
But
yeah, it's hideous.
It's hideous.
Yeah.
And it's the area it's in also is hideous.
Yeah. You know what's funny is the Rangers' old ballpark I always thought looked very cool. But supposedly it was not like a nice place indoors, and also they wanted / needed a roof because summer games
because
in
of Texas. Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Anyway, that's our baseball minute.
Yeah, geez, dude. You know what's so funny, man? Like I was just thinking about this, about how, so the video of ours that has the most views is the season 1 finale.
Oh, sure.
I am assuming that this will remain true by the time this releases, but at the time of recording this, the season 1 finale, Fire and Blood, I think is what it's called, has the most views compared to any other video that's up. But it's funny because when you look at our analytics, our retention is like 15 minutes for a handful of people, right? I mean, for a lot of watchers. And it's just funny to me because it's like, you think these people are like people who are discovering us on YouTube, clicking on it as like, oh, hey, I want to break down on this episode because it's a good episode.
Yeah. And
then they get in there and they listen to us talk about baseball for 20 minutes and they're like, what the fuck am I watching right now?
True. Big true. Also, you know what I'm going to blame that one on is just like Chaz's face, because that's the episode we have Chaz in.
Yeah. Once he comes in, people are like, nope, I'm out.
Click off immediately. They're like, shit, close the window. I'm just kidding, Chazzy boy, of course. You know I love you, bud. But you, even when you're not around, you catch those strays, and that's the way it goes, pal.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm almost a terrible co-host because I didn't ask you how you're doing.
You know what? You don't have to ask because it's just, I'm fine. You know, boring, usual, nothing, whatever.
Cool. No, this is just a message from the We Don't Want a Podcast to everybody out there that it's okay to just not be like hooray, you know?
It's okay to not be hooray.
Bars,
well
dude.
said. Big bars there. Yeah, definitely. Actually, you know, it's been a relatively busy week with the holiday weekend at work.
Right.
And I've been kind of just sleeping a lot on my days off. So
yeah. Kind of feel that. You know what's even funnier is that we both celebrated our birthdays.
Oh, true.
Week, and it's supposed to be like a good week, but we're like, man, it's just okay.
I didn't do nothing yesterday on my birthday. I literally slept. I talked to my parents on the phone for about an hour. They just got back from a cruise to Alaska, which was very fun for them.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I talked to them about their trip for a while.
They're living it up, huh? The whole retired life.
They're retired and living it up. Dude, every other week I talk to them, they're going somewhere, whether it's just to like visit the grandkids or, you know,
it's
on
like
a cruise
they
to
bought
Alaska.
This home to retire at, but they're never even at it.
For real, seriously. But I am very happy for them. Live your life big time. Mom and dad.
Live, laugh, love, you know?
Exactly. So, but yeah, aside from talking to my parents and sleeping, I did literally like jack shit on my birthday. I went out and got a burger to like treat myself.
Hell yeah. Where'd you get your burger from?
I got it at Culver's. It's
from Whataburger, right?
Exceptionally not. That doesn't even make sense. Culver's, all
I don't
reliable,
think that does
good
make sense.
stuff. Yeah, it was great. So.
Look, I think we may lose all of our Texas audience here, but Scotty Westside is not a fan of Whataburger.
This is a hot take for Texans only, but for anyone that lives anywhere with good burgers, it's not. Whataburger is trashed here. Like, I'm talking
That's
McDonald's,
so
Burger King, trashed here. I would take Wendy's, well, of other well-known fast foods, that's about it, over Whataburger. But like Culver's is a million times better than that. I don't even love whatchamajigger. What's the other big one?
You better not say In-N-Out.
In-N-Out, yeah. In-N-Out, I don't even love, but they're miles better than Whataburger. Whataburger is
the most
hot trash.
Oh my god, I hate you so much.
let me make an exception. Last time I was there, I went with my family when they were visiting town, and my brother-in-law is a Texan, so of course he had to go to Whataburger. And I had like a chicken sandwich. And their chicken sandwiches...
The one with barbecue or the one with...
No, I think it was the buffalo.
The buffalo one, okay.
Yeah, it was not the worst. Every burger I've ever had there is one of the worst burgers I've ever had in my life.
You don't like onions, right?
No, but I mean, I order it without onions. So.
No, I was gonna say, like, have you tried the patty melt? But it's, I mean, that is kind of the thing, is like the onions.
Anyway, chicken sandwich, not the worst. It was fine.
Well... I think we are coming to a parting of the ways.
Oh,
if
you would.
Nod to the Harry Potter. Yeah, that's just unacceptable here, pal. It's just not okay.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Let us know down in the comments how fucking ridiculous Scotty Westside is.
Let me know how correct I am.
And hey, actually, take it one step further. If you've not left us a review or a rating on whatever your podcast listening app of choice is if Scott is correct, give us a 5-star review. If he's wrong, also give us a 5-star review. Just to show, what you guys think.
Heads I win, tails you lose. Definitely. We should probably jump into the episode here.
We should. We've got some Game of Thrones to talk about.
We do, shockingly. This is episode 27, The Bear and the Maiden Fair. Zachy boy, why don't you kick us off with that recap?
I would... But I can't remember where you want me to stop. By the way, guys, I was instructed not to read this recap before.
This one has some.
Where do I stop?
In the Brotherhood cave is where I will jump in. But
okay, all right, guys. This is season 3, episode 7, The Bear and the Maiden Fair. We begin just south of the Wall, where Ygritte is making fun of Jon again. Him and his stupid roads and banners and drums and marching. He don't know nothing. That's kind of bars right there. Yeah. Jon confronts Arel about cutting them loose on the wall, and he continues to be a prick. Dude, Arel fucking blows.
Yeah, big time.
In the Riverlands, Rain has delayed the Stark army going to the twins for the wedding, and Catelyn is big worried about it. We learn that, quote, "we should all get some sleep," is code for, quote, "everyone get the hell out so I can bang my hot-ass wife." Never has there been truer words ever spoken, by the way.
True.
Just full-on double-barrel ass from both Rob and Talisa. Talisa is pregnant. Pregnant. Dude, fucking Talisa.
Just full-on double-barrel ass.
Yeah.
Full-on.
The hottest episode ever just keeps right on rolling with Tormund's sex ed class, which is fantastic, by the way. Old Tormund is a big believer in foreplay. That's another one that I was going to use for you.
You shouldn't go near me until I'm slick as a baby seal.
I was just going to say you're slick as a baby seal. But...
Okay, sure.
Oh, man. Okay, where did I leave off? Arel confesses his love to Ygritte, and she's like, "Sorry, bro. Jon is hot, and I love him because he's hot." In King's Landing, Sansa is realizing what a naive child she has been, then immediately continues to be a naive child. Marjorie gives us a little more sex ed, then confirms that chicks do indeed dig scars. Chicks dig scars. Bronn proves that Sansa isn't the only naive one here as he tries to talk some sense into Tyrion. King Joffrey summons Lord Tywin to the throne room to try and assert his dominance, but he gets absolutely decimated. This is a true showing of his girth by Lord Tywin.
He didn't stand a fucking chance.
No chance, dude. Joffrey is worried about Daenerys and her dragons, but Tywin says, "Don't worry, it'll be fine." He says, "Nah, bro. Don't sweat it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, where did you want me to stop again?
Yeah, a couple more.
Okay, all right. Speaking of Daenerys, she and her army arrive at Yunkai, another slave city. Jorah counsels that it would cost many lives in their army to take the city, but Daenerys is determined to free the slaves. She meets with one of the leaders of Yunkai, who offers her golden ships to leave and go back to Westeros. She responds by threatening him with her dragons and keeping the gold anyway. Back at King's Landing, Shae is big mad at Tyrion for marrying Sansa and wants him to go with her to the east. He says that he's a Lannister and must stay and marry Sansa. Shae is not pleased at all. Just outside King's Landing, Mel and Gendry are sailing by, and she tells him that he is Big Bobby B's bastard.
Boom. There you go. Now you're done. Good job.
I'm
buddy.
done.
You're done.
Pass it to Scott.
In the Brotherhood cave. Meanwhile, in the Brotherhood cave. Arya is still big mad. She's big mad a lot this season. They sold Gendry to Mel. Beric says he didn't like it, but he has to follow the Lord of Light, the one true God. Arya is fully in her emo phase and says her one true god is death. The Brotherhood is about to go fight a Lannister raiding party instead of taking her to Riverrun. So Arya calls them all liar, liar, pants on fire, and runs out of the cave, where she is captured by the Hound. At Harrenhal, we get a heartfelt goodbye scene between Jaime and Brienne, and she finally calls him Sir Jaime.
Oh, that scene.
Jaime tells Lord Bolton to pass along to Robb that the Lannisters send their regards.
You might want to remember that.
Maybe. And oh joy, it's Theon time. A couple of lovely ladies pull him down from his restraints and get him very excited. Mop Man Prophecies comes in and totally ruins the mood by cutting Theon's wiener off. You know what? That's a big mood ruiner for me too, to be fair.
I'd have trouble getting it up.
Yeah. You'd have for sure. Elsewhere in the north, Osha is big mad because Bran and Jojen tell her they're not going to Castle Black, that they're going beyond the wall to find the three-eyed raven. Osha says they don't understand what's out there and recounts the tale of when she fought a white, her husband.
Hey,
Bruni.
you skipped a paragraph there, Scotty.
Did I? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So
That's
elsewhere in the north.
Elsewhere. Jon tries to tell Ygritte that the Wildling invasion will fail, as they have failed 6 times before. Ygritte decides now's a good time to make out. Fair. And
So
says,
awkward.
if they die, they die, but first we'll live. And Jon's like, okay, you're hot and you're kissing me. Somewhere near Harrenhal, Jaime and Qyburn have a chat about killing people and saving people. Jaime's stump looks real gross, but
Dude.
also kind of rad?
No.
Question mark?
No.
I think it looks kind of rad.
No, you're fucking weirdo.
True. Jaime asks him about Brienne's ransom. They got a fair offer from her father, but Qyburn says Locke won't take it because he thinks he's being cheated out of a mountain of sapphires. Boy, that one kind of backfired on old Jaime there. Jaime tells the leader of his Bolton escort to get fucked. We're going back to Harrenhal. When they get back, they find that Locke has Brienne in a pit fighting a bear with a wooden sword. Jaime jumps in to save her, and they manage to get pulled out to safety. Locke insists that he's keeping Brienne, but Jaime is not having it. After a brief standoff, Locke relents, and Jaime, Brienne, and company leave. And that is episode 27, The Bear and the Maiden Fair.
The Bear and the Maiden Fair.
The bear, a bear, all covered in hair.
You know, this is an episode that, under closer review, I really enjoy.
Really?
Yes. And I think I have, like, for some reason, just in my memory, when I think of this episode, I only think of the last scene with the bear, of course.
Sure.
That's what I hate it.
Really?
And I hate that. Yeah, I hate. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
But I despise that section, that scene. And so it
Okay.
makes me have a bad taste in my mouth with the episode as a whole, but it's a good episode.
Interesting. See, my takeaway from this one is I was like, this is an okay episode. I was like, it's not incredible. It's okay. It's fine.
Sure. That might be a little more, I guess, aligned with how I feel about it as a whole, but I guess what I'm saying is like I have always thought of this as like a shitty episode. And under a closer review, I'm like, no, this is a good episode.
Would the closer review entail the double barrel ass scene? Did you do a lot of closer review
of
that scene, if you know what I mean?
Let's just say that the pause button and the rewind button were pressed a lot of times.
You wore those buttons out. I've heard they're a little sticky, too. Are those buttons getting a little sticky on you?
I had to lift my keys up just so I could clean underneath.
Yeah, definitely. Where do you want to start, pal?
Let's just start at the top.
Let's just start there. Let's just start there.
So how about this quote, man? Lord Walder is prickly by nature. Prickly, that's what you call it? Might be the least pleasant man I've ever met. Yes, and that's why I've seen wet shits I like better than Walder Frey.
Dude, the best part about that, aside from the line, which is amazing, is like the Blackfish's amazing delivery of it, because Catelyn like tries to cut in and like say something, and the Blackfish is like, nah, dude, I'm not done yet. I've seen wet shits. He just plows on ahead. He does not give a shit about what she's saying.
Yeah.
He's like, I've seen wet shits I like better than Walder Frey. Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a very good one. I love how Talisa responds to when he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I've spent too many years around, the Lancers and pikemen like Zach. And she's like, yeah, I've spent the last few years, sawing men's legs off on the battlefield, basically. And then she's just like, I'm not afraid of wet shits. And I'm like, hell yeah, Talisa, you're cool as hell.
Dude, Talisa is cool. I'm so excited for what the future holds.
I'm so excited. I mean,
I just love her so much.
They're gonna have a baby. They're super in love. He's gonna attack that ass again, if you know what I mean.
I don't blame him in the slightest.
Big time. How can he plan a war when she's like that over there?
Dude, seriously.
Like, I mean, these two kids just have the brightest future ahead of them.
Yeah. I will say this. We learned something really important in this episode, actually in this scene. We learned that King Robb is a proper lip biter. What a guy. Dude, that guy just like, I'm like, yo, I'm taking notes, my guy.
I had no idea where you were going.
I know.
Yeah, so it's a very sweet scene between the two of them, and I'm sure everything will turn out just the best for these.
Just sunshine and roses,
for these
man.
Two crazy kids that are in love. Anything else you had about that scene?
About that scene, no. I think we're good to move forward. Do we just want to move through the episode, or
why don't we talk about the Wildlings and Jon?
Okay.
So I think the biggest part of, like, obviously we get Orell being a prick and, Tormund's sex ed class, which is very, very funny. But the biggest takeaway of this is when Jon basically confronts Ygritte with the fact that, hey, this isn't the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
You guys are going to fail. 6 times Wildlings have attacked the north, like Kings Beyond the Wall have attacked the north, and 6 times they have failed.
Right.
And she's like, well, how do you know this? He's like, every boy in the north grows up knowing it. He's like, they don't have the discipline, they don't have the training. When, they fight a real army, you're going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that there's a little bit of ignorance on both sides here. Like, Jon is just he's thinking about these stories about the 6 times they've tried, 6 times they've failed, but he's also not acknowledging the fact that this is also the weakest that the Night's Watch has ever been.
This is also like one of the biggest unifying
Correct.
times
And
of the
yeah,
Wildlings.
I don't think that Mance Rayder can be compared to Mance Rayder or his army could be compared to what's happened in the past.
Right.
Other than the fact that it's a wildling army.
Right.
You know, and also obviously, you know, we see, and maybe it's not ignorance, maybe it's just you know, being naive because she simply just doesn't know. But yeah, it's when stuff like this happens, it's like I always like I'm the type of person that wants to play devil's advocate on anything.
Sure.
And be like, well, Jon, like, yes, 6 times they've tried and 6 times they failed, but like
7th time's the charm, dude.
Mance Rayder is different, my guy.
Yeah, he's built different.
And also the Night's Watch is fucking garbage right now.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know.
I see what you're saying, and there's probably a lot of that there, but also from his point of view, like he is still loyal to the realm and to the Night's Watch, and I think this is mostly him trying to like almost convince Ygritte to like, you know, of what he's doing and what he's planning, maybe even like, I don't know, in some naive, you know, dream realm brain of his, he's trying to like get her onto his side, you know, rather than going down, because he knows where the other path leads.
Right.
The other path leads with, you know, one and or both of them dead.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is like you said, I think this is a lot of naivety from both Ygritte and Jon.
Right.
But again, they're just two young kids in love, and I'm sure nothing but the best will
Sunshine
happen.
and rainbows, man.
Nothing but the best will happen for both of them.
What is that? What is that, a pop punk song?
You would know.
We were just kids in or how does it like we were just kids in love or something like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit.
Yeah, usually. But yeah, also I feel like I don't want to brush over the Tormund thing because it is one of the funniest scenes in this episode. Tormund becomes a fan favorite for sure over time, and we haven't got a ton of him yet, but I feel like this is one of the big early examples of why people came to love and why we love Tormund, because he's just he's so much fun, dude.
He's just like he's almost like Bronn if Bronn was louder.
Yeah, louder.
Like he just has no filter and is just like
louder and just more boisterous and just like definitely.
The last thing I think I want to say about this kind of section here in the north is I really do like the intensity of Jon delivering the like you're all gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And
all of
Ygritte
us.
is like you.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
Us. You know, having to remind him. Which, you know, if this is your first time through the series, you probably have picked up on some foreshadowing in previous episodes about like, you know, like kind of Ygritte pulling him aside and being like, look, like I'm not stupid.
Right.
But you're loyal to me now. We're loyal to each other now, and like we're all that matters. And it's creeping up here again that Jon it just can't shake off his like loyalty or his honor in some way, shape, or form to the realm and to the Night's Watch.
Definitely. Yeah, like I think she says it again, like the line of like I am yours and you are mine, and she is like she is, you know, a member. She is a free folk, as they call themselves, and she is not about to, you know, kneel to any king or anything like that. But she also, by the other side, just she refuses to like lose Jon.
Yeah,
you know, she's like,
and
you are mine, you know, type of thing.
Right, and it's funny too. Like this is just it's subtle things that if it didn't happen, it wouldn't be bad, but you have to appreciate it when it does. Like these cuts in this edit, how it cuts directly from this to Osha and her scene with Jojen and all them, where she tells the story of Jesus, what the fuck?
Bruni.
Yeah.
Bruni was his name.
Bruni. And she says the same thing. You know, he was mine and I was his, or whatever.
Right.
So it's cool. Like I always like that type of like editing where even though these things are happening in two very different places with people who are not really connected,
there are still things that connect them.
They're themes,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. We saw it last episode with the there was a really good cut. Was it last episode?
Oh, I think I remember what
The
you're
chaos?
talking about, but yeah. Well, was chaos last?
The chaos is a ladder.
It might have been 2 episodes ago. I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
a few episodes ago.
Yeah,
Whenever it happened, dude. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. No,
But
definitely.
anyway,
well, why don't we talk about that scene since we're already here?
I mean, dude, it's Bran. There's nothing to talk about.
Yes, yeah. There's not a lot to talk about. Just that, now we kind of know that Bran and Jojen and them kind of have no intention of going to Castle Black. That their plan is to go beyond the wall to find the three-eyed raven. That was maybe hinted at, but not specifically said hey, this is definitely what we're doing yet. So
right.
I do think that's important. And again, we don't get it every episode, but just that kind of existential threat of the White Walkers and the whites or the zombies, whatever you want to call them, the ice zombies, is still out there and is still a big deal. So always something to keep in mind.
Hey, I just opened my phone.
Uh-oh.
And I just saw that you texted me at 8:45 saying, "Let me guess, you're a bit behind." And I think I called you right at 8:45.
No, you did. You called me on Skype a minute after I sent that text. This is for those who want to know. Zach is always late.
That's not true.
When we record,
I wasn't late today.
He's like, "Oh, I'm getting a bit behind. I need 10-15 minutes." Sometimes he's entire days behind. He's like, I can't do it tonight. I gotta go this some other day. So.
Dude. Oh, hold on. This is absolutely necessary here.
Okay.
I need you to open your phone.
Okay, opening. This is riveting.
This is awesome.
Podcast material.
No, this is good. And it's gonna be appreciated. Oh,
okay. Let's go, Jeffy boy.
Hell yeah. So one of our very, very good friends, Jeff, a listener of the show, and just truly a fucking guy.
Way nicer than we are. We
way
shouldn't
nicer
be
than
friends with him because
the quality of person and human being that Jeff and Sam are is through the roof, and we do not deserve the likes of them.
Jeff, a.k.a. Jed, a.k.a. Jeb, a.k.a. just a great dude.
His baby was just born. Yes. What a fucking cutie. Congrats, Jebby boy. Jeff and Sam, we love you guys, and that's awesome. So
that is cool. I'm glad you brought that to our attention. Yeah. Jeff, when you hear this in 3 months, congrats, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Why don't we move on to King's Landing?
Yeah, let's do it. So hold on, let me move over to my notes.
Yeah, move to those notes. So Sansa, when I was taking the notes for this, I was just like, boy, Sansa, you
poor thing, dude.
You are something else. She's like, oh, I've been such a stupid girl, and how could I think of all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then immediately continues to be super naive when she's comparing Loras to Tyrion, and Marjorie is
trying to be nice.
Right, she's trying to comfort her and be nice, but also trying to talk some sense into her, and she's like, has he mistreated you? Has he been unkind to you? Blah, 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 all these things. And Sansa's like, no, actually, he's been kind of very nice and kind to me and all this. And she's like, but he's a Lannister. And Marjorie with this stinger of a line where she's just like, far from the worst Lannister, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and Sansa immediately has to withdraw and be like, oh.
Yeah, oh, right.
Right.
You're marrying Joffrey boy.
She has a little bit of a leg to stand on because she has kind of been there already and has been tortured by Joff.
Sure.
But no, yeah, she's definitely not thinking outside of her four walls there,
right.
And kind of gets showed up because of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the best part though is when she comes to the realization that she's going to have sex with Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like him, and again, Marjorie trying to trying to encourage her and be like, hey, look, it's gonna be all right. Maybe it'll be good.
Yeah.
You know, like he's very experienced. We're very hard to please, women.
And
she's like, how do you know all this? Did your mom teach you? And Marjorie just looks at her like,
Marjorie gives her the...
Yeah, my mom taught me.
Marjorie gives her the, oh, you sweet summer child look.
Dude. Sansa. Sure, I wanted to point this out. Her acting has, Sophie Turner's acting has been noticeably better.
I would agree.
Yeah. Through this season.
She's doing even better at acting the complete naive child.
Right.
Then Bronn and Tyrion have their conversation, which I think my favorite part of it is when Tyrion is like, she's a child. And Bronn's like, she's a foot taller than you, dude. And Tyrion just goes, she's a tall child.
Dude.
This scene is very, very good. They're so much fun together.
Right. Okay, but I have to ask you though. How terrifying would it be to see Tywin just slow walking towards you in an empty throne room?
Dude, he makes the Kingsguard. Now, let's be fair. These Kingsguard are not like models of The Office, basically. But dude makes them like stop in their tracks and back off with like a sheer aura. Like he doesn't even look behind him, like give them a look, anything. He just kind of stops and waits and like flexes his, like, he's like Goku powering up.
Dude, I was just gonna make that comparison.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, we'll stay back here. We'll back up a little bit, bud.
Okay, yep.
The slow walk that he does, like partway through the conversation when he walks
up the stairs,
when he walks the last few steps,
my lord,
up to then tower over Joffrey. Like,
we can arrange to have you carried.
Dude, holy shit.
Oh my god, dude.
That man is terrifying. Terrifying.
Our listeners are definitely bored of it by now, but Charles Dance was fucking made for this role.
Yes.
It's just insane how fucking good he is.
He commands the space and commands a scene. Like, I can't think of any other actor.
You know,
like
so
him.
What's really cool too, and I was noticing here, and you know, if you go back and watch a lot of Tywin scenes, it'll be a common theme. There's not a lot of music during his scenes, and so there's a really, really high level of intensity because it's like that. It's just that, like, that quiet, like, uncomfortable intensity. And so fantastic job on the producing on that. Like, it's so fucking good, man. Yeah,
definitely. Poor Joffrey boy never stood a fucking chance. He
literally cowers in his seat. The fucking cunt.
He kind of tries, to Joffrey's tiny small credit. But boy, the "we can arrange to have you carried" line is just mwah.
I have not been counseled. You are being counseled at this very moment.
You are being counseled at this very moment.
Dude, just fucking
he's so good.
Banger.
But also, do we have to call attention to the fact that's like, well, see, I don't know if this is, maybe he's right, like, because he's like, nah, Daenerys and her dragons is no big deal, dude. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Do you think that's short-sighted of him or not?
No, I think it's pragmatic. I think it's like, look, we have a million issues in front of us right now that need addressing. And if you were at our small council meetings, you would know that we're addressing them.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there because I think a lot of people are like, well, dude, Tywin is just ignoring this huge problem. And I think I agree with you. It's like they have bigger fish to fry at the moment. What does he say? Like, you know, like, we have bigger things to worry about than 3 curiosities half a world away, basically.
Right,
like that,
right,
so.
Yeah. I think, like, I guess, well, okay, I think I may have just convinced myself on kind of a, like, maybe in like a stalemate sense of way, like not really going one direction or the other, but like, I was going to say, what is he going to do? but he could do the same thing that King Robert tried to do, was, send an assassin and have her killed.
Sure.
Which I guess fair, but
yeah,
I still think it's like there's also a power dynamic to it as well.
Yeah.
It's like Joff is bringing it up, and he's like, "Man, no, I'm in charge here."
Yeah, no, definitely. I can see both angles of it, but I think overall, I mean, you can't dispute Tywin's results, honestly. So,
2 episodes from now, we're gonna have a big chat about Tywin's
results. Yeah. I suppose that's maybe getting a little ahead of myself.
Oh, hey, this is actually a great time to remind everybody listening and watching.
2 episodes from now.
2 episodes from. Yeah. Also, I need to correct myself because I think a few episodes ago I told people it was gonna be episode 8. I am a fucking idiot and never know what I'm saying ever. But our good friends Sam and Emily over at Harry Potter and the Half Drunk podcast will be joining us in 2 episodes for season 3, episode 9, which I'm sure if this is not your first time watching the show, you know exactly what that episode is going to be.
Well, you didn't know exactly what episode it was, so...
Well, I mean, everybody knows if you've watched the show what happens at the end of season 3.
Yeah, okay.
So,
fair enough.
We're going to have a fun time hanging out with those 2 ladies talking about that episode. So, be sure to be on the lookout for that when it drops.
Definitely. Let's touch on the East real quick. There's like the one scene with Daenerys and not much else. So she and her army get to Yunkai.
Right.
And Jorah's like, yeah, this won't be like Astapor. This will be a tough nut to crack for sure. And we can always go around. We don't have a reason really to do this. And she gives him the line of like, well, how many slaves are in Yunkai? And
we have 200,000 reasons.
200,000 reasons. She wants
good line.
She wants to free the slaves, and that's her thing, and good for her.
Yes. I have to call this out though.
What?
Well, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'll say this once we're finished recounting what happens in the East. Okay.
So she meets with one of the leaders, the slaver leaders of Yunkai, and he's like, here's a bunch of gold, here's as many ships as you require, go to Westeros, leave us alone, everything will be all good. This is basically the tactic they use with, like, when the Dothraki, come to attack their cities. It's like, here's a bunch of gold, here's a bunch of gifts, leave us alone. And she is just not having it.
Well, no, she is having the gifts.
Well, yeah, she's having the gold for sure. But she is like, I'm going to give you a gift to your life. If you lay down your weapons, let all your slaves go, blah, blah, all this stuff, I won't kill you.
Yeah.
Her usual fire and blood routine.
Okay, so this is kind of where I wanted to go with this. Like,
okay.
I like that. I like that, like, kind of, I don't know that I want to call it like manipulation, but just like that tactic, like that kind of like arrogance about it with like, you know what? I have a gift for you too. It's your life. Like she's swinging for all intents and purposes a very big dick, right? But there's one specific line. Here's the thing, dude. I think Dany is so cringe. I really struggle with her being so cringe. Like, so specifically,
she's pretty cringe. I'm with you.
Yeah. Dany says,
I did promise you safe passage, but my dragons.
Yes, but I can't. But my dragons did not, and you've just threatened their mother.
Yeah. She's.
It's the cringest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's so, and like, we probably, Scott, are gonna lose like 90% of our listenership here. The whole like Mother of Dragons thing.
Yeah.
I hate that. Not that that's one of her titles. I think
that
that's
is
a cool
one
title.
of her titles.
But no, that's not what I hate.
Okay.
What I hate is us, like common people, fans of the show, like where. Like having shirts that say like Mother of Dragons or like like I know like this is so cringe, like when you have a baby like and like they've got like Khaleesi on their baby shirt, and then the mom has a shirt that says Mother of Dragons, or like, it's just so cringe. Like
you look at too much like social media bullshit of people posting.
It's just really cringe. Like her using that. Like, and you've just threatened their mother. I don't know. It's so lame.
Poor Jeb, who is a big Game of Thrones fan. Sorry, I call him Jeb too often. Poor Jeff, who just had his child and is a big Game of Thrones fan, is listening to this with his like little
Father of Dragons shirt on,
and just sobbing in the corner. Poor Jeff.
So hold on, but I want to be objective. You know, our fans deserve it. Daenerys deserves it to some degree. She still is on a tear of doing objectively good shit.
She's just cringe about it.
She is just cringe. She also, just kind of side note, she looks really fucking good. I know you don't think Emilia Clarke is that attractive, but I fuck with it. She looks hot as hell.
In an episode where Talisa is existing and
that's fair. And Missandei's standing right next to her.
And Missandei's standing right. I'm just kind of like,
look,
like, listen,
there's just beautiful women in this show all over the place.
It's true.
She is just so stubborn, and she has no political finesse, and it's so boring to me. I had this thought while I was taking notes for this episode that this might be kind of a hot take. She is as monotone or single note as Brienne is, just on the other end of the spectrum.
See, that's my thing is, like, I know a lot of people love, well, Daenerys, but also, like, Emilia Clarke by extension, and like we talked about with Sansa, I think she does get better as the series go along. I just don't think she's a great actress. Like,
okay, I will counter your point by saying that I do have a feeling that it's a little bit, either one, she's just still like kind of on the come up and maybe hasn't really found her footing. I think that she does have some shining moments in terms of like acting, but I think more so it's how Dany is written and how
directed, maybe,
and how she's directed.
That could be
you
fair.
may not agree with this, but like it's kind of, to me, it's kind of the same point when like people say that like Kristen Stewart can't act because they look at Bella from Twilight, which like if you read the books, Bella from Twilight is literally that. She's terrible. She fucking blows.
She's terrible. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've seen Kristen Stewart in like a
dude. She has been in, and again, she's grown up. She's better, you know. But like, she's been in some unbelievable movies and has had incredible performances lately. I've seen a couple reviews on like some of her like recent performances in the past like few years, and it's just like night and day, you know.
That's
and I do think a lot of it has to do with how it's written and directed.
Sure, and that very well could be the case. And you know, to be fair, also I am critiquing and comparing against the unbelievably high level of performances that's in this show. So that's, you know, that doesn't help as well, but
yeah, that's definitely, yeah.
I just think of like, and to be like you said, like Arya is a more like varied and nuanced character, so like I think of her performance as being like just so much better. Marjorie, I think Natalie Dormer does a great job in her performances as Marjorie. Lady Olenna, obviously. And you're right. It could just be the way she's like written and directed thing too. So, I don't think we need to. Do we need to discuss the Theon scene at all? I think the recap said.
I just want to point one thing out.
Okay.
Dude, that chick Violet, I think is her name.
The blonde or the brunette?
The brunette.
No, the blonde is Violet. The brunette is Miranda.
Okay, Miranda.
Yeah.
Major crush on her. I love her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, dude.
She's cute.
I fuck with that. She's a nice
you like
one.
Those religious girls, dude?
Oh yeah, dude. yeah. Big fan of that.
Big fan.
Do we want to talk about back at the Brotherhood cave?
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That and Harrenhal, I think all we have left. Arya, I joked during the recap. She's mad a lot this season. but usually for good
It was
reason.
never a phase, Mom.
She's way into emo and death and all that stuff.
Her favorite band is like My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance
and, like,
posters all over that cave.
From First to Last and Hawthorne Heights and
Barrick
stuff.
and Thoros are like, you got to get these My Chemical Romance posters out of our cave. Come on.
Yeah.
But again, for good reason. Like, she's like, Gendry wanted to be one of you. He wanted to be a part of you.
Yes.
And you sold him.
Yep.
And Barrick can make all the excuses that he wants, but she's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
They sold him.
We didn't want to. But you did.
Yeah, but you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then also they're like, wow, we're going to take you to River Run. I promise we'll get you to your parents. Ooh, but we got this Lannister raiding party. That seems like a real good opportunity. We should probably go deal with that. And Arya has had enough. And she's like, I'm out. Too bad the Hound is right there waiting.
So there's two things I want to call out here.
Mm-hmm.
First off, Arya doesn't like sprint out. She like trots out, and I think it's very funny.
I took a note of that. I've never noticed that before. I wonder if it was like, hey, like we're in an actual cave here. We don't want anyone to get hurt. So when you're running out, maybe take it easy type of thing.
Dude.
But I noticed that as well.
It's
She's
so
like
funny,
barely,
dude.
she's like in a light jog.
Just a nice
best.
Evening jog.
She
She's
is
trying to up the heart
sauntering
rate a little bit
out of that cave. Yeah. And somehow she ends up like a mile ahead of the rest.
It's so funny to me.
She straight up Nightcrawler teleported as soon as she got out of that cave.
But the other thing is just we just have to address the fact that, which we've addressed it many times before. Maisie Williams and Arya are just constantly such a powerhouse of a character and performance. She like it could have to do with the character and how Arya is written, but I think a lot of it also has to be credited to Maisie's delivery and performance of it. She just constantly has so much to offer in every scene. Like, even in the scenes where she doesn't have a lot of dialogue, she's still making you feel a certain way or feel things or empathize or whatever. It's just incredible.
The way she like emotes, like I don't know another way to say it, but like when she's acting, the way she expresses her emotions just by whether it's like facial expressions or movements or what have you is just so good.
Yeah.
And anytime we get an Arya scene, I don't really care what it is. I am just like sitting
Zoned
up
in.
straight and paying attention and like, oh, this is good stuff.
Yep.
And we were going to get even more good stuff. I didn't realize it was this late into the season that this
so
kind of pairing
thinking
happens.
about that, actually, wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so late into the season.
How does so much happen?
A lot happens in the last couple episodes.
Holy fucking
I
hell,
think our
man.
last part is Harrenhal here. This goodbye scene between Jaime and Brienne is excellent.
Yes.
It's a very quick scene, but just the fact that at the end, you know, when she basically passes her vow to him, of bringing back, you know, Lady Catelyn's daughter safely, and then she calls him Sir Jaime, and I got fucking chills, man.
Yeah, my note verbatim says, Brienne saying goodbye, Sir Jaime, is gutting.
Yeah. And I think it gets him too, because, you know, when
he doesn't say much.
He doesn't say much, but when he finds out from Qyburn later that this is not going to end well for Brienne, to say the least, he is like, we're fucking going back. I don't give a shit what you tell me, random Bolton dude. We're fucking going back. And then, I want to hear why you have a problem with this.
Okay, so I like everything other than the bear stuff. Okay. My first note on a positive, in some positive note,
it is.
Is that the bear does have a mean left hook.
Oh yeah.
Dude, homie don't play, man.
Yeah, he needs to keep his right up for the guard. He takes that crossbow bolt. He would have if he had had his right up, he'd have been fine.
It is actually kind of comical how funny it is when the bear stands up and literally it looks like the bear does like this motion and just swipes. It's so funny to me.
He's fighting Glass Joe in Punch-Out next week.
Dude, okay. There's a lot of things I think that contribute to this, but the thing that stands out as fucking acid, it's so gross to my ears, is the sound of everything during the bear sequence.
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
The bear roars I just think they sound very fake.
Okay.
Also, there's like a lot of really big like thuds and everything, right? Like the sound effects, you know, like bumping into the wall, and that combined with Brienne's or Gwendolyn Christie's screams, it all just sounds like it just sounds bad. Like you can even I'm not exaggerating. You can hear the mic like pop.
Watch out, Game of Thrones episode 27 sound engineer. Zach is fucking coming.
Dude,
for
I'm
you
fucking coming for you, man. I'm on a mission. It just
coming
sounds so
throat,
bad, dude.
bro.
I just think
notice,
that the whole production of all of it, it's just like so fake, and like I think it's just one of those scenes that probably reads much better than it does watch. It seems so far-fetched, and I'm saying that in a world with dragons and zombie people.
That's funny because this is not the direction I thought you were gonna have problems with this scene at all. Because the problem that I have it with the way that it's done in the show is more just it's a versus the book problem, and I hate to do this. I try to keep from doing it as much as possible, but
I'm okay with it because I don't like the scene.
Okay, that's fine. It's Bolton men versus Bolton men squaring off at the end, which doesn't make like a whole in their big standoff, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They're all Bolton men. It made a lot more sense in the book because this was a completely different group of men that captured Jaime and cut off his hand. It was
all the Boltons were gonna go back to the wedding.
All the Boltons either went with Lord Bolton, or they they were Jaime's escort. And Harrenhal and the people that had captured Jaime and cut off his hand were a group of sellswords called the Bloody Mummers. And so the fact that the Bolton men were having a standoff with this random group of sellswords, and that's where the tension was, and like, yeah, we're not letting you kill Jaime, and if he says we're taking Brienne, we're taking Brienne. That made a lot more sense than two groups of the same men squaring off against each other. And this is like a small thing. I'm not trying to make a big deal about it, but that's what I was thinking about while watching the scene. So the fact that you're just going for the sound design's throat just threw me a little bit.
It's the sound, like, I don't know, man. Like, you just watch something that is like, this is the most unbelievable like shit that I've ever seen. Like, not in a fantastical way. Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. It just didn't look good. I guess I don't know how else to articulate it, but I hate that this whole scene.
Maybe I need to rewatch it because I did not.
It really sounds terrible, dude. She does this yell that like you hear the fucking mic peak.
Yeah.
It's terrible, dude. Like, it sounds like the sound was fucking recorded in the 70s. Like, it just sounds bad, dude.
However we feel about the scene, I think it's good that, obviously Jaime went back to save Brienne.
Yes.
I think that's awesome.
Yes.
I think it's kind of funny that the whole Sapphires thing backfired on him so badly. Like, he did it in a very noble way to try and save her originally from, being raped. And now it's just like, it's like coming around on him in a way he did not foresee coming. And he's just like, fucking shit. All right, well, we gotta go back. I gotta take care of this. Also, shouts to Qyburn taking side swipes at Grandmaster Pycelle. Because Jaime's like, you're certainly a lot better at this than Grandmaster Pycelle. And Qyburn just laughs and goes, faint praise, my lord. I'm like, hell yeah, coming after Grandmaster Pycelle.
Dude.
It's pretty good.
It's like I don't like Qyburn, but I like anybody who takes a shot at Grandmaster Pycelle, because fuck time. That guy.
Didn't Jaime is just taking shots in general at people always usually, but he takes a big one at the Citadel, something about like, oh, did you fondle too many boys or something like that. Yeah. Anyway,
you know what's even more, I hadn't thought about this until you saying that. What's even more like uncomfortable is Qyburn's non-reaction to that. Qyburn just being like, "Oh no, that's not my."
So that definitely probably.
Yeah, that is definitely an issue there.
I mean, we know what a fucking creep Grandmaster Pycelle is. So why? Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he basically straight face is like, "Oh no, that's not my vice. Mm-hmm. Like that's not my thing. I'm not into that."
Definitely. Also, we get another Jaime. Now Jaime's totally fine with talking about it. It seems like the dam has opened, and he's
right, exactly.
The floodgates are open. I think I misspoke earlier. Like I thought the population of King's Landing was bigger. I think I said millions, and Jaime lets us know here it's 500,000. So
right.
He's like, no, yeah, I saved all the people at King's Landing, and
right. And it's funny in this scene because Qyburn doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So Qyburn's like, you think you saved the entire population of King's Landing as a fucking Kingsguard? What did you do?
Right.
Yeah, it's funny.
Anything else you wanted to touch on, Zachy boy?
No, man. I think you don't feel like going through all that. This is like a pretty good episode. I feel like it is.
I feel like it's very solid. Like I said, I don't think it's incredible. We get we're weighed down a little bit by some Bran and Theon stuff. I think the King's Landing stuff is very good. The Arya scene's a little short for my taste. And the Jon and Ygritte stuff is great, but like I said, it's fine. I wouldn't say it's incredible.
I think the Jon and Ygritte stuff is so mid.
Really?
Yeah.
I
don't think it's bad. I just think it's like,
that's to say. I don't think this episode is that bad or good. I think it's pretty. Okay. Oh, now my autofocus is messing up. Boy, that's a new one. What did I do?
Oh, you witness
protection, I'm all blurry. I'm all blurry. I don't know what happened. We got to get to our final section here. I don't know where my cursor is. Who be thrown it?
Who be thrown it?
There we go. That fixed it. This is our weekly running top 5 of who is doing cool things, who is making moves. You know how Who Be Thrown In works. Where we last left off, Tywin had claimed his number 1 spot. Again, Lady Olenna with a banger of an episode was at number 2. Littlefinger had taken the 3rd. Okay, so the climb was the last episode for sure then.
Yeah.
Littlefinger was at number 3, Jon Snow at number 4, and Thoros had taken the 5th spot. I realized that I come into this, I don't think I have... I'm trying to think of who I want to champion for, like, making a list. I don't really know.
Okay, well...
Hit me with somebody here, Zach.
I think Tywin's a lock.
Tywin, I think, is a lock to stay at number 1. Yes. Littlefinger isn't in it, so he can come off.
Right.
I think Thoros can definitely come off.
I think Olenna can come off as well.
Olenna has a... I don't think she's in it, actually, now that I think about it.
No.
Jon has a case to stay, so we might leave him for now. Who were you thinking comes on?
So I think... Well, I come on all the time. Who was I going to say? I think that Jaime...
I was going to say, Jaime is the one I'm thinking of. I think Jaime big time joins the list.
I also think Dany.
I could see Dany. Another one I was going to mention is I think Marjorie has a really solid part in this episode. Like,
yeah,
if she misses the list, I'm not going to cry about it, but I think she's got a case.
Well, this is a tough one because we don't get a whole lot of people doing stuff in this episode.
Right. This episode's kind of a lot of setup.
Yeah.
What about your boy, the Blackfish?
I mean, I'm okay with it. Oh,
does
Rob,
he do enough?
Rob banged Talisa twice in a row, and he's having a baby.
And he's having a boy. Yeah, big time Rob. Good
and
call.
Also, he has a nice body and butt. So.
Also, he's got a fine looking ass. Yeah, Rob
double cheeked up.
They are both double cheeked.
Hey, it's a Thursday afternoon too, man.
The sun was not out, but
his sun's out, guns out though.
Who else?
I mean, that's 5 people on the bottom that aren't even on the list.
I know. I'm just trying to make sure we cover all our bases. But Bronn had a solid conversation with Tyrion. I enjoyed a lot, but I don't think so. Not Tyrion, right?
I don't.
What about?
I don't think so just yet.
The Hound capturing Arya?
I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough. Just throwing it out there. Ygritte?
You know, I was honestly kind of wondering if I like Ygritte more than Jon on this episode.
I could live with that.
Ygritte hasn't had her chance to shine either.
That's true. Let's pull Jon off, and let's pop Ygritte up there. There we go. These placements can still change. Who are you thinking takes the number 2 spot? I am leaning Jaime.
I'm leaning Jaime as well.
Yeah.
Well, no, hold on. I'm leaning Rob.
Really?
Dude, come on.
Yeah, okay.
He's banging to Lisa, man.
Okay, that's fair. And he's gonna be a daddy. He's already a daddy.
I also, dude, I have to be honest, and we may have to knock some heads over this, but I kind of think Dany over.
You think Daenerys over
well.
Jaime? I can't live with that.
Why?
I cannot live with that. Because all she does is
she just got a mountain of gold and is set to attack Astapor.
A mountain? She got 2 chests, dude.
That's a lot of gold in there, though, dude.
All she did was be cringe and make comments about my dragons didn't promise you safe passage.
Okay. She was cringe, yes.
There is no chance she's better than Jaime this episode.
She is still on an absolute tear of doing objectively good stuff.
Yeah, but she's
in a great position.
She doesn't do anything specifically great this episode. Jaime does.
I mean, she makes it... Look, I will argue that her making the decision to attack Yunkai simply to free the slaves is a good thing.
It's a morally good thing. Whether it is a good thing for her and what she wants to accomplish, we will see, is maybe very disputable. There is no way I can put her over Jaime this episode. Jaime saved Brienne's life. She called him Sir Jaime for the first time. He's funny. He's great in every scene he's in. He's the absolute opposite of cringe. He's the best. I gave you Rob over Jaime. You have to give me Jaime over Daenerys.
Okay, fine.
All right. So that I think we have our list then. Ygritte goes to 5 and Daenerys at 4.
Dany at 4. Can I? Oh man, I don't know that this is gonna be okay.
Okay.
I kind of want to lobby for Blackfish over Ygritte.
Blackfish has one funny line.
And it's amazing.
I mean, it is a banger
It's
of a line.
amazing.
It is an absolute banger of a line. But you said yourself we have not given Ygritte her due.
Yeah, maybe this just isn't her episode.
No. We're losing the Blackfish. I would argue, if you had said Marjorie, I would have heard that argument more.
Nah.
Okay. All right. This is our list then. This is our list.
Okay, fine.
So that leaves... I'm glad you agree, you sack of shit. That leaves us with Lord Tywin. By the way, I did not bring the full stats this week, but even before this episode, he has passed Tyrion as the number 1 points getter for our Who Be Thrown In lists to this point. Lord Tywin at number 1, Rob at number 2, just making babies, being hot. Jaime at number 3, all around awesome episode. Daenerys, she's here for reasons that Zach explained, I suppose. And then Ygritte at number 5. That is episode 27 or season 3, episode 7 for those of you who like to count that way.
For those of you who are much smarter than I and actually do it the right way.
Definitely Zach's fault. The Bear and the Main Fair. Zachy, do you have anything else?
Do you want to maybe start giving like an out of 10 rating at the end of every episode?
Oh, you want to start that now?
Yeah, I know it's a little late, but hey, look, dude, we can adapt. I kind of want to start doing it.
All right, I'm game.
Out of
you
10.
Go first. You start. What are you giving this one?
I think I'm gonna give this one. Ooh, okay, hold on. I need to think here on the spectrum of Game of Thrones episodes.
Right, that's the thing. Is I think the only way to do this is not as comparing to like TV in general,
right?
But strictly Game of Thrones episodes versus other Game of Thrones episodes.
Right. Okay. So I think I'd probably put this at like.
Okay, we also need to establish: are we doing just a straight 10-point scale? Or a 20-point scale with halves.
We're doing Dewey Decimal System here, pal.
We can do whatever we feel like? Okay,
we do whatever the fuck we want. This is our show, goddammit.
It's like, that reminds me of, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Conan's, Conan the comedian, of course. Conan O'Brien, his bit where he like rates. Wait,
what other
games.
Conan would there be?
Why
do you have to
Conan the
clarify
Barbarian?
4 times?
Conan the Barbarian, you dick! Has anyone ever seen Conan the Barbarian? Okay. The famous bit that he
has his own show and everything.
No, the bit Conan O'Brien does where he rates video games and he'll like, if this is bad and this is good, I'll give this game a and he does all that weird stuff. It's very funny. Anyway.
No. That's a little cringe. I'm gonna give this a 4-5.
Whoa! I thought you said you liked this episode!
Well, but when we're talking on the spectrum of Game of Thrones episodes...
Jesus! I was gonna give it like a 5.5 or a 6.
I think I'm gonna give it a 4 or 5.
I'll go a 5. I'll go straight 5. I think this is a fine episode. Fine.
You know, so it's funny though because like I feel like there's not gonna be a lot of episodes under like around a 4.
No.
Except for a few episodes that are like a 1. You know?
Yeah, I definitely think not in like this season or next season. There probably won't be anything lower than that, but later there might be some 2s.
I would even venture to say that next season we probably won't see a rating under 6.5 or 7.
We might not. That's getting ahead of ourselves, but spoiler alert, season 4 is real good, and we'll be riding the hey, we love this shit dick a lot. Season 4.
Scotty and I are gonna be bringing our lube every episode because we are gonna be riding that dick the entire time.
Can I do that? Can I do that on camera?
Yeah, you do that on camera. You're just using a shake weight over there, pal.
Yeah, I'm just shake weighting, trying to get fit. This is me.
Your strokes
4.
are much too long, pal.
That's because that's season 4, baby. That thing's got a big dick.
Season 4, baby.
Season 4
pumping a shotgun over there? What's going on, guy?
Zachy boy, take us out of here. Jesus.
Oh man, guys, we appreciate you so much for listening. This was a fun episode. Thanks for listening as always, and hit us up on the social medias at We Don't Want a Pod. Also, we will have the link for our new merch drop at the point of listening to this, maybe like a month or so old merch drop.
Relatively new.
Still available for you guys to get some good shit down there. Click on that link and give us all your money. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Just the fade out with that.